Hi, I'm DIY Jeff, and today I'm going to show you how to replace the starter on a 2005 to 2010 Ford Mustang. DIY Jeff is your home to find helpful how-tos and honest reviews. I'll be performing this procedure on my 2006 V6, however this procedure is applicable for GT models as well, with a couple of slight variations. On the V6, the starter is located on the underside of the engine bay on the driver's side of the vehicle, while on the GT is located on the passenger side. Also on the V6, the starter is held in by two mounting bolts that hold the starter to the bell housing of the transmission, while on the GT there are 3 bolts. So enough talking about it, let's get started. Start off by lifting the hood and disconnecting the negative battery cable. You should always do this when working on electrical components. Next, before jacking up the vehicle, be sure to chock the back wheels. Slide the jack under the front center of the car. What's great about this model of Mustang is there is a horizontal frame rail running side to side just in front of the front wheels, making for an easy jack point. Once high enough, slide the jack stands under the frame rail. Then lower the vehicle onto the stands while still leaving enough pressure on the jack to provide a third support. You can't see the starter from the top of the engine bay, but if you could, it's located directly below where I'm pointing. Crawl under the vehicle from right behind the driver's side front tire and locate the starter. There is a plastic cap protecting the starter's wiring connection that just pops off. Using a 1/2-inch socket, remove the nut that holds the power wire onto the starter. Then, using a 10mm socket, remove the nut holding the trigger wire. Remove the wires. On the V6, there are 2 mounting bolts, one directly at the bottom and one at the top right. The GT will have an additional bolt top left. Using a 1/2-inch socket, remove both bolts. You may need a small swivel extension in order to reach the top bolt, and on the GT model, the hard-to-reach bolt on the upper left will need a long extension. When removing the last bolt, use your free hand to hold the starter because it will come loose easily. Once out, it's a good idea to compare your old starter with the new one. Make sure it's identical before trying to install it. My new starter came with a new trigger wire, but as you can see from my old trigger wire, it's wrapped in with the power wire and would be too much work to replace it when my old wire was in good condition anyway. Once satisfied that the new starter is the same, reinsert it into the same orientation as the old one. The gearing should easily line up and slide into place, and the bolt holes will line up perfectly. It doesn't matter the order in which you put the bolts back in, but be sure to hand tighten them first so that when you use the socket to finish tightening, they won't cross thread. Next, put the wiring back on the terminals, being sure that the power is on top. My new starter came with a new lock washer and nut, and while you can see that I'm putting the lock washer on here, I later had to remove it because it prohibited the plastic cap from locking into place. When tightening the nuts, snug them securely, but be sure not to over-tighten them. The cap will only fit on one way, and you'll know it's secure when you feel it snap into place. Reinstall the negative battery cable. Raise the vehicle off the jack stands. Remove the jack stands. Lower the vehicle. Close the hood. And remove the wheel chocks. It's now time to put your hard work to the test. Start up the car and then feel the satisfaction of not only doing the work yourself, but of also saving money. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Also, click the bell icon next to the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time I upload a new video.